Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the GC360 podcast recorded right here at the Garden City, New York Media Studio. I am your host, Erica Becker, and on this show we have some of the most interesting people in the community talking about what they do. And today we're going to have a really cool conversation. On my show, my guest today is Rocco Dano Jr., and he is the founder of BrookHill Tech Designs, which is focuses on home security. So Rocco, thank you so much for coming. It's great to have you on the show this morning.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So first off, obviously, we know that you have BrookHill Tech Designs. This is your company. How did you get started?
Yeah, so we've been around. I've been in the trade for 10 years now, personally, and I started my company about 8 years ago in 2015. We primarily focused ourselves in security when we first started out, and then developing our relationships with builders across the island, throughout New York and Jersey. We then branched into the smart home, and as it grew to our society and our economy, we just became more and more involved with it, and which led us where we are today, to have the security division still stay where it is, and we also do with all that whole home automation integration and stuff like that. So that's kind of where we have led up to today.
Yeah, and you have two companies, right? So one focuses on the home security and the other one is...
That's correct. Yeah, so we have two companies. It's BrookHill Tech Designs. They both hold the same first name, so it's BrookHill Tech Designs, which is going to give us the design factor when sitting down and allowing clients to design their home, whether it's a new build, renovation, or retrofit, and give them different options for to make their home pretty much ergonomic, and simple to use and stuff like that. And then yes, we do have BrookHill Alarm Company, which focuses primarily on the security aspect of it, with the burglar alarm and monitoring and stuff like that.
Which is very important.
Yes.
So why do you think people are definitely starting to do this a lot more, but why is the whole smart home integration so important, do you think?
So I think there's multiple factors to it, but what I've seen over the years and come in through our doors is really just two options. It's either it's something that people want, or it's something that people actually need. We've worked with multiple customers, again, that just want it. They like the technology aspect of it, they like the simplicity of it, but then we've also worked with customers who actually need it. So customers who are maybe disabled, and they can't physically get up to turn their lights off or turn their shades on or change the thermostat. And we've had multiple situations like that. So it's really worked multiple ways with different scenarios and situations and people. But it just comes down to really those two, and of course you can go many other ways with it.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much falls down to like what people need and want, and just incorporating it for them.
Yeah. So the whole smart home thing, you really can integrate pretty much everything into that, right? Like you mentioned, window shades, lighting. It's not just the security system, right, and like the monitoring.
Yeah, so people get confused, because it's like the word luxury. Everyone wants to use the word luxury, and it's the same thing with smart. Everyone wants to just label it smart, so I think it's becomes a broad term that's either not used properly or whatever. So when it comes to designing a smart home, I think it has everything incorporated, including your lights. So it's lighting, it's your shades, it's your thermostat and HVAC system, it's everything from outdoor lighting to your pool, filters, your pool system, and the list goes on. I mean, radiant floor heating we can incorporate, gas fireplaces are incorporated. So, and basically you can take all those systems and rather than have them separated throughout a device, you have them simplified under one platform. And then with that one platform, you can then take that, voice control activation, motion censored activation, where you don't even have to touch or say anything.
Wow.
So, again, it depends on the level that the customer wants to go to and their comfort of what they're looking for in their home. But yeah, smart home is just, as a whole, it's, a lot more. And of course, then you can incorporate your security into that as well.
Yeah.
Where it's, easy to be accessed and stuff, again, under that housed one platform.
Yeah. So you have a lot of experience obviously in this field. Can you explain a little bit about why it's different to go through a company like yours to have the smart home technology installed and the security technology installed rather than buying something off the shelf or off of Amazon on your own and doing it like that?
Yeah, so that's, a good question, because we get that often, with, again, the clients. And sometimes it just falls down to a budget standpoint, but if you want to go further than that, you're really, when you work with a company, it doesn't have to just be us, but when you work with any company, if you're with the right company, you're going to get a design service along with the system. So, when you go and you buy something off the shelf, listen, of course you can talk about the product difference too, but, with, you're getting service, warranty, you're getting a whole staff of people and a team to help you build, design, and understand the system. At the end of the day, rather than have to get on the phone with an 800 number, you're going to have a team of technicians to sit there and walk you through how to use the system, how to troubleshoot it if something happens. You're getting remote monitoring service. So, that's not just for alarm and security, that's also for when we build you a rack or a theater or a full home automation system, you're getting monitoring on that. So if something happens on a Friday or Saturday night, you can give us a call and we can remotely reset something for you. And, so there's a little bit more of that customability factor in there where, I think that catches people's eyes sometime. We've helped people install, regular consumer products as well. It's not really our forte and a specialty, but, it's been a request sometimes to incorporate it. But, primarily we focus on, the whole home as a full, and the audio and all that stuff, and that's where the comparison is. And of course, like I said, you can talk about the product difference, and there's just, listen, if you're spending $200 on something opposed to 2,000 or upwards, obviously there's going to be a reason for that,
right?
So it's not just necessarily the product, but again, it's the team of people that you're getting with it. We spend countless of hours on the phone. I've been dealing with customers sometimes. We put 20 to 30 hours in with a customer before we even get a signature on the contract. So, we care about really understanding the needs, the wants, and how we can incorporate that, of course, into a budget, and then, based on the home itself too, and what the family's looking for.
Yeah, so then piggybacking on that, would you say that how would you describe your design team and your technicians that work for you?
So in-house, we have system engineers, we have our sales team, and all our admin, and of course we have our technicians, our field technicians. We have in-house technicians too that will remotely service you. So if we can't make it out there, or it's maybe something we don't need to go out there and give a service charge for, we can do that in-house and remote. But you're getting everything. We have different systems. We do 3D renderings. We do wire floor plans. And our architects and builders that we work with tend to grab onto that with us a little, and they like that because sometimes people are just other companies will just grab a drawing and draw some indicators on there of where things are going.
Yeah.
We give an itemized list of exactly what's going on that corresponds to a floor plan, and then a wire diagram and plan too. So it's kind of like we're providing low voltage drawings as well. So we have pretty much all this stuff in house to keep it simple, and again, so our customers understand what they're really getting, without also paying a premium, because obviously there is a price that reflects the work we do, but on the same time, we're not charging thousands and thousands of dollars for drawings as an architect or stuff, something like that would, if they went with them to get drawings.
Awesome, that's great.
Yeah.
That's really unique, what it seems. And would you say that it's safer and more private to use a company like yours rather than some other way, off the shelf, like we were talking about before?
Yeah. I think it goes both ways, again, with the comfortability factor of it. But listen, we're not selling your information. Anything we do in house, again, you're paying a little bit more of a premium because we're storing your information rather than selling it off to somebody else. So anything that you do with us is going to stay confidential and private, and I think that's an important factor, especially when we're working with a little bit more of an elite customer, somebody that needs to stay a little bit more private, and they like that because all your documents are going to be stored with us. There's no loose papers flying around. There's nothing that's loose within our systems. And I think that gives some of our customers a good sense of security, and they like that as well. But yeah, there's tons of products we have as well that, again, falling back to that difference in consumer shelf product to what we offer. A lot of our products are going to give you that security factor where everything is going to be housed under one platform. and your data is not going to be sold, to then give you a cheaper price on the product. So you're paying that upfront premium for a reason.
Yeah, and it's very important, like you said, for some people even they have no other option but to keep it sealed that way. That's so great. We are going to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back after these messages.
My father never stops moving, but after he had a brain aneurysm, he had a difficult time getting back to his normal routine. That's when I called Alliance Services. They paired him with Rosa. She developed a custom home care plan that helped him with his recovery.
Rosa helped me gain my independence back.
Alliance Services, helping older adults continue to live well and independent.
Hey everyone, welcome back to this episode of the GC360 podcast. If you're just now tuning in, I'm your host, Erica, and I am here with Rocco, who is the founder of BrookHill Tech Designs. And we've been talking about home security systems and installation and the importance of it. And so we're just going to dive right back in. We were just speaking about your team and how unique it is and how you have all these design technicians and how what you guys do is super important and valuable. I wanted to know about your impact in the Garden City area, because you started more in Rockville Center, right?
Yeah, so when we started, it was mainly the South Shore, Belmore, Merrick, Rockville Center area, and then we spread throughout up into the North Shore. Now we're primarily in the North Shore area, Garden City, Hamptons, and like the Central Park area in the city. But in the past 3 years, since around COVID, like 1920, we branched into the Garden City market by working with most of the contractors here. So a lot of, I won't say any names because I don't want anybody to get a little upset if I say it or don't say it.
Yeah.
But we work with a lot of the, higher end contractors who primarily built their business based in Garden City. So we've been lucky enough to, prove ourselves to them and, show our work and work with them. So that allowed us to branch into the market. And, we're here, I personally enjoy working with the Garden City market, the people. I like the architecture of the old homes and trying to retrofit all the the older architecture with newer technology. And I think that's what kind of keeps us going, as a firm, and keeps it exciting for us. So, we want to, help more people bring, an ergonomic feel into their house, even though they may not think it's possible. Because of the age of the home or, the architecture and stuff like that. So we are, here and growing stronger in the Garden City market.
Yeah, that was something I was going to ask you about, because I know in Garden City there are a lot of old homes. What are some of the challenges that you have faced in trying to integrate the new stuff in there?
A lot of the challenges are actually fall with lighting. So because a lot of people want more efficient lighting solutions, and they want voice control solutions or automated lighting, and they want different lights or different switches, and they want to consolidate, and a lot of the walls are plaster, as we know, and so not a lot of it's sheetrock, so it's not easy patchable, and some people want to conserve the original paint that's on the wall and the wallpaper, so it does get a little challenging. But we work with a lot of third-party companies, subs that have the same experience with patching and repairing walls. So, we may take a bank of, 6 switches that are on the wall and consolidate it into one switch. And we need, a professional to come in and clean the wall up and match the paint or the custom, faux that's on the wall, something like that. So that's a big challenge. And another one is just wiring, because we don't really like to do wireless solutions with products. So we like to keep everything hardwired if possible, in every situation. So wiring's definitely a huge challenge. A lot of, what's in Garden City is stucco, or it's, outside cement, or it's brick.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge, but, traditionally it takes a little bit longer than, a regular house that may have siding, for example, if you have to run some wires, or has an attic or basement, but they're all kinks that are always worked through, and we try to keep it as neat and clean as possible. And, we've gone as far as, chipping out mortar in between bricks and remortaring it, to hide the wire. So we kind of, we have a team, and the, project manager, is pretty good at, you know, seeking solutions for a problem, you know, which is we're very thankful for.
Yeah.
And we just try to come up with something creative every time, you know, because there's really no cookie cutter way to do it. I mean, it's just never going to happen that way.
Right. It sounds like that's kind of sets you guys apart from probably a lot of other companies. And why is it too important to not go wireless and keep everything hardwired?
Well, I think if specifically in the Garden City area, it's very difficult when it comes to even like Wi-Fi solutions. So we do a lot of Wi-Fi solutions for homes because, you know, within these houses, one router is not going to work. Now, it doesn't even have to be a really big house. You know, it could be 1,000 square feet, 1,500 square feet. It really doesn't have to be this, you know, 4, 5, 6,000 square foot house. And with that being said, you know, there's a lot of walls in these houses, so it's not really an open concept. So a lot of it's walls, and again, a lot of it's that stucco where it's got the wire mesh and it's a plaster inside, and you have to really come up with a really good foundation for the Wi-Fi in order for it to work. A lot of people don't want to invest so much into the Wi-Fi aspect, so we can come up with a solution that will give them strong internet throughout the house, but maybe it's not strong enough to reach throughout the exterior of the property. So if we're doing, you know, a security perimeter around the house with lasers, or if we're doing, you know, a solution that, you know, maybe you want to do a camera out by the front driveway, by a gate or something like that, and Wi-Fi is just not going to reach there.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to do a hardwired there. So that's one example to do something like that. You know, and of course, you know, Wi-Fi, you know, even if you have the best Wi-Fi system in the world, it's sometimes always not reliable.
Yeah.
Hardwire is always going to be better.
Wow, that's good to know. And we've talked a lot about the security aspect and the technical aspect. What are some fun designs that you've gotten to do? Because I know a lot of people probably don't realize that they could use you all for a game room or a home theater. What are some of the more fun things that you guys have gotten to design?
Yeah, so we've gotten to do some fun projects. You know, outdoor stuff is really cool because we could do like pop-up TVs that come from the ground up. And we've gotten really creative with some solutions as far as TVs, you know, stuff coming down from the wall, master suites and mantles, you know, they don't want to disrupt the beauty of it, you know, so stuff that will, you know, slide out from under your bed, so TV, stuff like that. We're also working on a project currently, actually today as we're filming this. We have a game room that we're going in. We actually, this is the first one we've done, and it's pretty cool because the customer wants everything exposed on the wall. So it really requires a lot of time to make sure the wires like look really neat and like you know, stuff that kind of looks like very futuristic and, you know, cool. So we're gonna do a series of like TVs that will have all the different game systems on them, and then we'll do a series of, you know, lighting colors throughout, you know, and again, everything's gonna be voice controlled and automized. It's gonna be pretty unique. So
wow.
We've done some pretty good stuff. You know, projectors and all that fun stuff. But yeah, we've done some pretty unique projects. You know, we have, you know, myself, I come from a construction background, so anything, you know, we can kind of customize to make something work. You know, if we come up with a problem or we need a custom piece to make something work. So over the years, we've just done some pretty unique stuff and found a way to make it unique if it wasn't. You know?
Yeah. So that being said, partly answered what I'm about to ask you. What makes your company different or unique compared to other home security and tech
companies? I would say to keep that into a short, you know, we can just, like I said, to piggyback what I just said, was that we can kind of come up with a solution for any problem without having to find a specific piece of equipment that may work or not work. You know, we've come up with, you know, I've personally in-house, I've cut racks apart and made them fit into cabinets by re-welding them together and kind of fabricating them different ways and coming up with solutions that the customer, you know, we just couldn't find a part, you know, that worked. You know, there's just no company that made that part. We've made custom housings for sound bars underneath TVs, and because the customer just didn't like the options that we had. So
wow. I
would say that, you know, we could be very unique in the sense that we can kind of customize, you know, and have that ability to give the customer kind of what they're envisioning, and especially working interior designers, very picky people.
Yeah.
And you know, I love working with them, but you know, they want what they want, and when they have a design in mind, they really, you know, don't want to compromise. So I think that's a big part of it. And then really just, I would say, our service. You know, we try to do the best we can with service. I'm sure there's every other company out there, but we, you know, have specialized packages and plans that give the customer a little bit more, I'd say, efficient service.
Mm-hmm.
So it allows them to get a little bit more customizable with their packages as well, like what they're really looking for, how big is their system, and how much service they're going to want and need, stuff like that. So,
Yeah. That's great. Service, especially in the industry you're in, people want to trust you and feel comfortable. So that's a really, really important part of that. And I just think it's fascinating that now we're able to pretty much make your entire home smart is what they're calling it, right?
Yeah.
So do you have things in your home that are smart?
I do. Yeah, we lighting and TVs, but it's like I always say, the shoemaker's shoes never have shoes, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't have everything, because I just can't get around to it in whatever I do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we do have some pretty cool stuff, and I'm always playing around with new products that come out. Especially being an exclusive dealer for Sonos, which is a very commonly known product.
Mm-hmm.
We actually, because we're direct with a lot of them, and Sonos being one of them, we're always getting new products in from them. And, we love testing them out, and, so I have speakers all over my house. And,
Wow.
more stuff than, I know what to do with. But, yeah, I'm always exploring and figuring out new ways to integrate and come up with stuff that's going to work for people. So
That's fun. Do you like working on people's homes rather than maybe bigger? I know you've done some bigger business type contracts, but do you like working in the homes?
Yeah, primarily, I like the residential market. It gives us a nicer, closer relationship with the customer. A lot of the customers have become good friends of mine. We'll go to dinner and we'll just do stuff. It's just the relationships I've made over time. So I would say we do like the residential market as much as we can focus on the commercial end. But yeah, we do like working with the homes and the customers, and it's nice because we can come up with different designs and
Mm-hmm.
really see the excitement that comes out of it with a lot of them. So yeah, I would say the residential products is kind of our primary focus, in the market.
Yeah, and you guys get to be so creative on
Yeah.
your job, which is great. I'm sure people don't even realize what you guys have to come up with.
Yeah.
So, I think this information is super valuable for anybody in the community, and I think that there's probably a lot of people who didn't even realize everything that you all can do. So I hope that everyone listening is taking down the information, because they're definitely going to need you guys for something. And now, if our audience, anyone listening or watching, wants to get in contact with you about a consultation or a phone call or working with you, what's the best way for them to find you?
So, you could simply just Google one of our names. Like I said, there's BrookHill Tech Designs or there's BrookHill Alarm Company, so you can find us either way there. You can, feel free to give us a call. You can shoot us. Our website is, we really work a lot on our website to try to make it, as detailed as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So you can definitely visit the website at BrookHillTechDesigns.com, and that has tons of information. You can even leave your information there as well. And that's pretty much it. We're working on getting a showroom over in the Syosset area. So, hopefully within the next probably 3 or 4 months, we could have some people come on down and try some products.
Yeah.
And do some stuff like that. But yeah, feel free to reach out that way, and of course they can come here and reach out as well. So.
Yeah, that's great. That sounds fun too.
Yeah.
The showroom, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, Rocco, it's been great having you on. I learned a lot. I'm sure everyone else did too. So thank you so much for being on the show with me today. And to the audience, thank you so much for tuning into this episode. And this episode was sponsored by Alliance Services. I'm your host, Erica, and we will see you next time.